Christine Lagarde, the European Central Bank president, has some really choice words about cryptocurrencies in the last couple of days. On a recent episode of College Tour, a European talk show, she started talking about cryptocurrencies and how she thinks they're worthless. But then she hit us with a dichotomy. And so first, if Christine Lagarde, the European Central Bank, thinks Bitcoin is worthless, why exactly is that? Well, here's what she said. The first thing was, she said, my very humble assessment is that it is worth nothing. Great, very descriptive. Then she went on to state, it is based on nothing. There's no underlying asset to act as an anchor of safety. And sure, maybe that's true or maybe it's not. But if Christine Lagarde and other central bankers in Europe actually believe that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are worthless, then the conversation basically would stop there. And the market will ultimately prove them right, and those assets will end up being worthless, right? Well, there's a catch. The ECB and Christine Lagarde, they also want to regulate Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. She went on to say in that exact same talk show that I'm concerned about those people who think it's going to be a reward, who have no understanding of the risks, who will lose it all, and who will be terribly disappointed, which is why I believe that they should be regulated. Now, of course, in this scenario, there's two different paths that you can pursue. The first is that the central bankers actually do believe that these assets are going to end up being worthless, and they simply want regulation in place to try to prevent people from buying them. Or the second is that the central bankers don't actually believe that these are going to be worthless assets. And instead, they realize they can't shut it down. There is no grounds for them to stop the free market competition between the central bank assets and these new digital assets. And instead, in that scenario, they simply want to regulate them so that they can get some level of control. Now, the central bankers will tell you they don't actually believe there's any value here. But I think that reality is closer to they understand that there's value, and they simply want regulation in place so they can still have some semblance of control. Regardless of what happens, saying something's worthless and then making a case for regulating it doesn't make a lot of sense. We simply are watching them talk out of two sides of their mouth. Central bankers, they have their hands full. They're going to have to deal with the changing macro landscape. They literally are trying to figure out what their monetary policy is going to be for the next decade. And at the same time, they have that nagging industry of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies at their heels. It'll be fascinating to watch how this plays out. But Christine Lagarde, making sure everyone knows, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are worthless, and she also wants to regulate them. Hey you, did you like this video? Great, we make 5 of them a day and post them here on this channel. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and see you next time.